Morning. We've brought the two
Gallanders out, Neils and Pico, this morning in the yard, nice and sunny. They're standing quite nicely, just absorbing the sun. We're just gonna, well, I've just brushed them off, quick brush, and then I'm gonna put a bit of harness on, and I'll try and talk you through what I'm doing.
Okay, so I've harnessed Pico
up. He's an offside horse, so his harness is fitted with the adjustment buttons
to the right side, which is the offside. As you can see, he's just got a trace carrier,
which at the moment I've pushed the traces up and underneath the back strap
where the crupper is, which is
the bit around his tail, just to hold those traces up out of the way
where we do the other horse, and then put the reins on. Now on the harness itself, you'll see it's
full collar obviously, and you'll see the
martingale at the front, which goes
down through underneath his front legs and back to the girth. That's what stops the collar coming too far forward when the vehicle's going downhill. It restricts the movement of the collar being pushed up and forward under his chin.
Okay, so hopefully you can see now how the all the adjustment is on
the side that the horse will go on when you go in the carriage. So obviously people being on the offside, is everything's on the right. Now I'll just zoom in a little bit, and you can see that his girth does up on the right, as does his belly band. And if you look just up on there, you'll see, or you can't quite see because his mane's just blown over the top, but the buckle for his adjustment for his collar on the hem is also on this side, so you can pull it down and then move it in the hole if you need be. His reins is also fastened up onto his offside, and at the moment they're just hooked up out of the way, so they're nice and tidy, so he can't stand on anything. You may be wondering why the rope's hanging from his halter when he is fastened to the wall with a chain, but both of them, I've just left the rope hanging like that, purely a precautionary thing, because as I'm doing this on my own, it means I've got something fairly easy to grab hold of if I need to. Normally we would tie them up and keep that out of the way, but just, as I say, because I'm doing it on my own, it just gives me something extra to be able to grab.
Right, so this might give you a little bit
of a better idea of how I do this. Obviously horses are not quite ready yet. I've got bridles on, everything else is ready. Still tied up to the underholders to the wall, and I'll put the bridles on over the top of the underholders and still leave them tied up. Once I've done that, we'll pull the vehicle slightly further forward into them, between them, sorry, and then I'll gradually go around and attach them. Once they're attached to the carriage, obviously at that point I've got the reins passed over in my hand anyway, so I've always got hold of them, even though they'll still be tied to the wall. And the last thing I'll do before I get up is I'll pop round the front and unclip them from the wall, and then quickly get up, turn them round in the yard, and then head out. Just it's the easiest way for me to do this on my own, and the safest way as well. So as you see, that's one horse now with his bridle on, still attached by only the underhalter to the wall, never on the bridle, it's always to the underhalter. Reins it up onto the bit. He has a Liverpool bit in, which has a bottom bar, which is used for pair horse work, stops them getting the rein from their neighbour entangled on the shank of the bit. But we'll pop across and do the other horse the same now. Both horses are now bridled and waiting patiently. The next bit, obviously some of it I can't video, as I'm just doing it on my own, but once we get them in, hopefully we'll do a bit more. Okay, so now we're out. Them all put in nicely, unclip them out of the vehicle, turn them around in the yard, and get it out on the side. We'll try and do the video when we get back to see how it goes when we get back. Right, we're just heading back from about a 5-6 mile drive round site. We're just going to go in the yard, so we'll just try and take a film as we go down into the yard, and then we'll stop and I'll show you how we take them out. Right boys, walk on.
not particularly successful coming down the ramp there, but never mind, we got down. Again, trying to drive one-handed film and work the brake isn't always the easiest thing, but we're back in the yard now, and you can see they're quite happy to stand. It's their familiar place, so they're more than happy just to stand there while I get off and take them out. Okay, what I'm going to show you now is how I take them out. They're going to just stand there quite happily. Now obviously I've dismounted, I still have the reins in my hand, haven't let go of the reins. I won't do that. I'll keep hold of the reins even when I'm taking the traces off, just so if they do step forward, then I've got something to be able to control them with. So we're just going to take the traces off, which is not how you'd normally do it, but I'm going to show you how I do it anyway. Okay, so I've transferred the reins to my right hand, which allows me to use my left hand to take the traces off. So I'm just trying to do this as a film, just give you some idea of how we do this. So again, whoops, Dan, this is unconventional, but it does allow me to be able to do this on my own. It's quite tricky working with the camera and things, but as you see, I'm passing the reins over, so I've always got the contact on the reins. I have never let go of the reins. And even when I come round the front, and there's both horses from the front, I've still got hold of the reins in my hand. Always, I've kept contact, never ever let go. So I'm now going to take them out at the front, so I'm just going to, I obviously need to stop filming doing this. So here we have both horses taken out and secured back to the wall by the underhalters. And there's the carriage, so we just pulled up into the yard as near as the wall as possible, and then I got down and say, maintained contact on the reins at all times while I was taking them out. Got them out at the very end and then led them forward and clipped them back up to the wall. So I'm now going to unharness them and give them a good brush off. Yeah, both horses are now unharnessed. Push the carriage over there, and we've hung the harness up on the back of the carriage, because that's all for me to clean once I get them brushed off and turned out. Right, that's both boys now. Dead hair scraped off, and they've had a brush off, or a stiff brush off with cold water. Just take the sweat marks off, and now we're going to put them out in the field.